What's going on, y'all? It's Elijah Locks, and today we got another Prize Picks video for you guys. In today's video, we're going to be giving you guys a total of 2 NBA player props I love on the board for this December 12th, Thursday NBA slate. It should be a pretty good day of basketball. There's only 3 matchups, though, so again, not a lot to choose from at the moment. We got a lopsided Boston Celtics versus Detroit Pistons game. Even though these guys have pretty good games, again, just the chance of Boston just smoking them out, doing just crazy work against them. There's a high chance that they blow them out by at least double-digit points. So again, kind of tending to stay away from that one. Not even all the props are up right now, but I really like the Sacramento Kings versus New Orleans Pelicans matchup, so that one should be a good one. So we're going to be giving you guys a player of the day in that matchup, and then another player from the Toronto Raptors versus Miami Heat game. So before we get into those, make sure to drop a like and subscribe with those post notifications turned on. It should really mean the world to me. Going to be grinding as consistent as I can for you guys, trying to give you guys the best breakdowns, the best insights, and the best value they can find on this Prize Picks board and win some money together, which we are all trying to do, just giving us that overall edge, just from the research and data and whatnot. But a little recap on the last video. And it kind of flopped. The games were kind of weird. The Warriors game, especially, that was such a low scoring game. Haven't really seen a game in the 90s, both ends of the ball against each other in a really long time, especially like in the era of today's basketball. This whole season, we typically haven't really seen games under 100, both teams being scored. So again, just unfortunate there. The officiating was kind of off right there. But again, I'm just going to take full accountability on that play. It was Steph Curry as the player of the day. I was expecting him to go off, but unfortunately, he was one of the leading scorers. He had 19 points, I believe, and then like 3 rebounds. So just kind of flopped on that one, deaded out. So you're gonna bounce back though. We're gonna have our little duds here and there, but obviously we were just super hot on our player of the days recently, just going crazy on those ones. If you guys have been staying tuned with the channel, so again, sports betting, it's gonna happen, and I take full accountability of that. That's on my end. But we're going to try and bounce back in today's video with a couple more player props. So enough talking. We're going to go and hop right in them. As you guys can see, the Kings versus New Orleans Pelicans game should be the best one. The spread is minus 5.5, and then the over and under for total points scored in this matchup is 231.5. So again, this one should have the most points being scored and the closest one, which means a more chance for the starters and just star players to go out there and have their longevity in these matchups against each other. So with that being said, our player of the day in today's video, we're going to be rocking with DeMar DeRozan over his points and assist line at 25.5. I love this line for him. He's been pretty solid all season. As you guys can see, he had a really strong start, 65% on the season alone. Now, recently, he's kind of been shaky, but these were, again, they've been seeing a lot of blowouts, surprisingly, against opposing teams, or even getting blown out. Like this one was 20+ points. This game was against the Brooklyn Nets. This game, Houston. This one was a crazy blowout against the Utah Jazz, and this was also another blowout against the Spurs. So again, especially the most recent ones, he barely got hooked, 25 and 22, and both of them were blowouts. So obviously, he's not going to be playing as many minutes right here. Only 32 and 29 minutes when he's been averaging 35+ on the season alone. So again, as long as this one's a close game, which I'm expecting it to, especially for it being the NBA Cup or whatnot. I'm not sure if this is the exact game, but with that going on, this should be a good one. Again, from the spread alone, it should be a pretty good one. And if we look at his little insight down below, DeMar DeRozan has exceeded 25.5 points and assists in 14 of his last 16 games on the road. So again, in 16 games, he's been averaging 31 points and assists. That is 6 over his actual line. And again, 16 games for covering it 14 out of them. That's insane value. So he's been the guy, the go-to guy on the road. And if we look at his matchup specifically, point guard and shooting guard, this team gives up a lot of points, a combined total of 50+, and then a combined total of around like 17 assists allowed. So again, DeMar DeRozan, he could fluctuate. Obviously, he's a skilled player down below, or not down below, but in the mid-range bag, and even knocking down some threes here and there. So this dude should go crazy. I feel like he has a pretty good matchup against the Pelicans. They have pretty strong interior defense, actually, as you guys can see. Center, they only give up 17 and 2. Small forward, they only give up 20 and 3.2. So again, majority of the points, which is 50+, come from these guard positions, the 1 and 2, which DeRozan is going to be at. So it's a pretty good matchup for him. Now, he's seen recent success against these guys in the past on his resume. Obviously, he was on a different team, the Chicago Bulls, but he's been playing very similar to what he was on the Chicago Bulls. His role has been up as well. So 34 and 31, obviously it was on a different team. But again, he's been taking basically the same amount of shot attempts. He took on average 15 right here. On the season alone, he's actually been taking more shot attempts compared to what he was seeing in those 2 matchups alone. Seeing around 16+ shot attempts, shooting 50% on the field with a total of 7 potential assists. So again, the ceiling is just super high. They've been using this guy very well. And whenever it is a close game, he's going to be playing big minutes. As you guys can see, a lot of the games at the start of the season were close games. And you guys can see the stats right here, 42, 37, 38, 42. A lot of minutes played from this guy, 39. So again, the opportunity should be there. And with that being said, the player of the day in today's video is going to be DeMar DeRozan over those points and assist line at 25.5. So if you guys didn't take anything from the video, I recommend this play right here, DeRozan. And then with the second player on today's video, we're going to be rocking with Terry Rozier over his PRA at 15.5. Now, obviously, this dude, he's coming off the bench. He's a role player. As you guys can see, his minutes recently have kind of been shaky, though, around 20. He started off the season hot, obviously, because they had injuries. But recently, even in still good games, though, he'll see around like 25-plus minutes a game, which is pretty solid for his line, only being at 15.5 points, rebounds, and assists, as to why his line has been kind of shaky this last couple games compared to the start of the season, which he was super hot in. I really like this line, though, especially the matchup-wise against this Toronto team. If we look at them against opposing point guards, they're 29th, 24th, and 3rd in points, rebounds, and assists allowed, getting around 28, 6, and 7.5 a game, which is great value, especially him coming off the bench. Going against that secondary unit, I feel like he should have an easy time being able to cover this. A little insight down below, Terry Rozier has exceeded 15.5 points, rebounds, and assists in 16 of his last 19 games, whereas bottom 10 defenses per points allowed, averaging 24.2. So again, in 19 games against similar teams defensively, like the Raptors, he's been averaging damn near 10 over this line that he's at for 15.5. Obviously, his recent games kind of been struggling, but again, a lot of these have been tough matchups for him, and they weren't these top or bottom 10 defensive teams for points allowed. So this is a good line for him. I feel like he should have a great game right here. This dude could really go crazy. For example, he just went against the #1 team in the Eastern Conference, I believe, in my opinion. Them or the Celtics. You guys could like mix and match however you guys want. But he just saw a total of 26 PRA against these guys, more than 10 over his line. So again, the value is going to be there. And not even to mention, he has a great resume against these guys. As you guys can see, 36, 32, 19, and 23. Now, you guys might be like worrying about the minutes that he's been seeing recently, especially with the decline. But he even saw little amount of minutes in these last two matchups against these guys and still went over easily, 24 and 28. If we look at his last couple games, again, he's been averaging a total of 28 minutes so far this season and 25 plus recently. So again, this should be a good line for him. 24 minutes, he was still able to get 19. In even 28 minutes, he was able to get 23. So again, this should be a good matchup for him. I believe he should go out there and do his thing. He's 2 for 2 so far against these guys this season. And again, situation-wise, against opposing point guards and shooting guards, they give up a lot of points. So again, they should be going to hit this guy off the bench as their little role player coming in, just giving their starters some rest. So this should be a good one. He sees 8.3 potential assists, 5 potential rebound, or that's on the last game. He's been seeing 5.3 potential assists, 7.3 potential rebounds, and taking 10 shot attempts a game. And again, the line's only at 15.5, so the value should be there for him to go over and whatnot. So this is my second player that we'll give you guys on today's video. Terry over that 15.5 PRA right there. Love that line for him, and I expect him to go out there and ball out. Now, I was debating on putting Tatum over his points line. Now, it's not even out yet, but you guys could throw in this play. He typically always goes crazy against the Detroit Pistons. And surprisingly, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, these guys are pretty weak defensively against Boston's surprisingly weak defensively against Detroit. Now, obviously, Detroit Pistons, they're the Pistons. They have probably one of the worst records or like worst teams in the last 10 years. But surprisingly, they always put up a good fight against the Boston Celtics. I'm not sure if it's like the matchup specifically or not, how their teams like just cooperate against each other. But surprisingly, they tend to keep up in the game. So again, Jason Tatum should be seeing a lot of minutes. And especially at this 20, this is obviously Goblin play, but 20.5 points. This one should be a good line for him, like almost a 199% hit rate, I believe, in my opinion. Now, his normal points line is not up, obviously. They don't have like any of the Boston Celtics up right now at the moment that I'm making this video. But if his normal line goes up, you guys could also take that or just this one. This is just an extra play that I was seeing and debating on putting in the video. But in the case that we got right now on the board, DeMar DeRozan over that 25.5 points and assists is the player of the day. And then Terry Rozier over that 15.5 points, rebounds, and assists. So these are my players I'm going to give you guys for this Thursday, December 12th NBA slate. Again, only 3 games to choose from, so not a lot of picks. But I feel like these ones have some good value from the breakdowns that I showed you guys and just explained. And with that being said, that is all I've got for you guys. Again, please drop a like and subscribe to this post notice. It mean the world to me if you guys haven't already. And with that being said, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and let's eat today.